Most of us agree that our experiences make us the person we are today. By this, we mean that the environment in which we are raised shapes everything about us. With that being said, our communication skills and how we handle our interpersonal relationships is influenced by the same factors. The main factor that I'll be focused on today is your social class. Social classes have been a defining boundary in society for centuries. Usually based off of wealth and status, these classes have the ability to hinder you in your goals. People of different social classes often have to interact with each other at one point or another. Normally, each class is stereotyped to dislike the other, but in this speech, I will explain to you how your wealth and status really affects how you handle communicating with others. The three main ideas in relation to this topic that we will be looking at are: people of higher status do not show respect for others, people in low social classes aren't as effective communicators, and those with less wealth are more dependent on others. So first off, people of higher social classes show less respect for others while communicating. Most of these people are born into their class. They grew up with having everything handed to them and were always in charge. To them, they don't need help from anyone. They are comfortable with their position and are not looking to form bonds or relationships with others. They carry themselves with confidence, and it is often found that they do not have much sympathy for those who live in poverty. Instead, they think that those people choose to live that way. These thoughts carry into their personal relationships. According to an issue in the British Journal of Psychology, upper-class individuals were more disengaged non-verbally, while lower-class individuals exhibited more socially engaged eye contact, head nods, and laughter. So they don't feel that the conversation benefits them, so therefore they pay no attention to it. While upper-class people may not show respect, they can still handle a conversation. Lower-class people lack the ability to effectively communicate. This is caused by many things, the most prominent one being a lack of confidence. A study done on the social status amongst animals found that males will fight most frequently when benefits are high and avoid fighting with individuals they are not likely to beat. This remains the same for humans. If they don't feel they have the skills, they won't attempt anything and will let the opportunity pass them by. This normally only remains true when they are communicating with those in a higher social class. They get intimidated by those with more wealth, and because of this, they often struggle to move up in social class. It also doesn't help that most of them are prejudiced against the rich and hate them. The final point in relation to social class and communication that I will discuss is that those in lower classes are more emotionally and physically dependent on others. Since they are relatively poor compared to other classes, they depend on others to get the resources they lack, whether it is some form of support or something tangible like food. However, being dependent does have its upsides. According to a study done in Silence Daily, respondents who considered themselves to be members of a lower class, warm and cooperative interaction with other people in their social class was more important than for those who consider themselves members of a higher social class. They are much more empathetic and understanding towards others because they know what it is like to feel less than other people. They tend to put others first, while upper-class people tend to be self-absorbed. Overall, they are much more trustworthy and understanding than those of higher social ranking. In conclusion, in order to succeed in life, you need to be able to effectively form and maintain interpersonal relationships. At one point, everyone has relied on their communication skills to achieve a goal. However, it appears that as you rise in social class, your communication skills can possibly be diminished. It seems that people of a higher ranking are less respectful than others and do not fully engage themselves in a conversation unless it will benefit them. People of lower classes lack the skills needed to communicate with those outside of their class, but they are very effective when it comes to collaborating and working with those on the same level as them. Any questions? Okay, the end.